Here we go.
Let's make it a good day. We do it our own way. Let's make it a good day. Oh, no matter what they say. Oh, yeah.
Good morning, Minneapolis. Good morning, St. Paul. Good morning, Tacoma, Washington. I'm going to throw one extra in there. Good morning, Hudson, Wisconsin, and all my friends in Wisconsin. Welcome to the Jason Show, or I should just say I'm Brenda Vaccaro. I sound a little different. I'm Jace. Please say hello to my sidekick sister from another mister and Pillsbury's Employee of the Month, Kendall Martin.
Yellow.
How you doing?
I'm doing well. You sound okay.
I have so much to tell you guys. I gotta tick through them quick because we have hot dish to get to. I was out yesterday. Thanks to Tom Butler for filling in. Thanks for people being concerned. It is funny, right, friends? You can't just be, and I hate the word normal, you can't be normal sick anymore.
No.
COVID's changed that because people understandably get worried. It was not COVID. I got tested. It wasn't that. I just, starting the day before Thanksgiving, all through the holiday, I have felt and sounded like this. And it just didn't get any better until about Sunday, but I still wasn't 100%. Safety first. I love all these people, don't want to get anyone sick, and I waited until I felt better and until I went to the doctor, blah, blah, blippity, blah. And then here I am. So, and I'm here for a couple days, and I already had a little weekend off where I'm going to see my friend Paige Davis from Trading Spaces in New York. But so that happened. And then it was a house of sickness at my house because then the dogs got sick. Dexter, my boxer, and Mr. Big, they have the same routine every day. And the theory goes, we took them to, I think, a daycare, and I think they caught Giardia.
Yep, so fun.
Yeah, it's a ton of fun, right, pet owners? Mm-hmm. And Biggie just kept getting worse, my Frenchie. And then on Thanksgiving night, it was obvious. I will spare you the details, but it became obvious that Biggie was bad, and we took him to an emergency vet. And here's where the consumer alert comes in. First of all, I just took a 6 job to pay for that. Thank you, Tyler. But number 2, here's what I learned in the age of COVID. A lot of these emergency vets, and they're doing great work, but they have waiting lists, 4 to 5 hours. And you have to sit in the car. You can't go home, like they won't save you a place in line. You have to wait in the car with your sick cat, your sick raccoon, your sick dog. And so we called all around on Thanksgiving night. And I gotta say, a hats off to the angels right behind our building here in Eden Prairie. The Fox Studios in Minnesota's here at Eden Prairie. Blue Pearl. I gotta say thank you to them. They let you drop off the animal and then go home and then wait there. And they took such good care of Biggie and Dexter. They diagnosed the problem. They put him on meds. And I just want to say, in this age where people are screaming at each other and they're fighting with doctors and flight attendants and teachers and school board people, I choose a little bit of kindness. I just want to say thank you to the good vets and vet technicians and folks working at these hospitals dealing with emotional people like me. It's hard when your pet's sick or when your kid's sick. So I just wanted to have a little moment of gratitude because they really took good care of our boys. They're fine now. They're getting better. But Biggie used to be a little sausage. And now he's a little sausage link. He lost a little weight. So yeah, we got to beef him back up. But they're fine. They're
on the special food and all the things.
All the things, Kendall.
So fun.
I got to give a Biggie a syringe full of medicine.
Yep, they love that.
Try giving your Frenchie a syringe of anything. That doesn't go over well. One more thing, 2 more things real quick. I want to say happy birthday to my mother. Today's Dar's birthday. I love ya.
Happy birthday.
My mom's here in a beautiful forever home. I love ya. She has a fun little thing today at 1, right, Mom? I love ya. And then, and here's a gift for my mom because she loves her. We just found out right before we went on the air, Adele is heading to Vegas.
Yes!
That's right. Moments ago, Adele announced a Vegas residency. Weekends with Adele. January through April at Caesars Palace. Come on, Kendall, we're leaving.
Oh my gosh.
Grab Ted. Executive producer Jeff isn't here this week. So we'll grab
He's out.
Tyler, we'll grab Eric, and we'll grab Ted. So how many is that? 3, 4, I need what? How many tickets do I need to
5.
buy? 5 tickets?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll buy the 5 tickets.
I would faint.
Oh, wait, the vet bill. Sorry, I can't. Sorry, Kendall. Anyway, Adele, we love you. We can't wait to see you. Okay, Adele's just the beginning of the news. Let's get started, everybody. It's time for the hot dish. Here we go. Ooh, my credit card. Vet bills. Good news for Spidey fans. Tom Holland isn't going anywhere. The current trilogy of SpiderMan movies is wrapping up soon, but the big studio behind it, Sony, says Tom's going to come back for another trilogy set in the Marvel Universe. Spider-Man, here's the weird thing. Spider-Man is owned by Sony. Marvel is owned by Disney. But Sony says they're going to continue to work together harmoniously to make more movies together. There was a big old fight between these companies. It's like, can you just get along for the sake of us moviegoers? Because Betty from Anoka, she doesn't give a rat's rear who owns Spider-Man. She just wants to see Spider-Man hanging out with Captain America.
Right. Go take your bath in your billions.
Yeah.
And just let us enjoy the movie.
But they do. And I'm going to say it out, Tom Holland is the best Spider-Man ever. Why the pause on that? There's no pause. There's no comma. That there's a period on the end of that sentence. Tom Holland is the best Spider-Man, period.
I really like Tobey Maguire.
No. That's fine. You can small L like Tobey Maguire, but capital L love Tom Holland.
Okay.
He's
Andrew
the best.
Garfield was great too.
Andrew Garfield was not great.
What?
No. Tyler, am I right? Eric? No, I'm sorry.
I disagree. I liked him.
I like him as an actor.
Right.
Tick, Tick, Boom, Boom. That was fine.
What?
Tick, Tick, Boom on Netflix.
Oh.
It's good. He's great. But as Spider-Man, sorry.
We'll talk later.
No, I'm going right home. Again, sick. Yeah. Next in the dish, more A-listers are joining the cast for the next edition of Live in Front of a Studio Audience. On ABC, we already knew who would star in the different Strokes redo, but now we're learning who will be in The Facts of Life. Jennifer Aniston is going to play Blair. Gabrielle Union's going to play Tootie. Allison Tolman's going to be Natalie. And Katherine Hahn's going to play Jo. They will join Ann Dowd, who was already announced as Edna. John Lithgow, Kevin Hart, and Damon Wayans, they're going to star in the different Strokes portion. All of it will air a week from today. This is from Norman Lear and Jimmy Kimmel. I love that they do this. This is such a great concept, and it gets huge ratings every time. This is, I'll say it again, just like the Lady Gaga Tony Bennett special, which, by the way, did you see that?
Fabulous.
I cried at the end.
It was so good.
When Gaga said, "Tony, may I escort you off the stage?" I cried.
I know I got you.
Anyway, this is what networks can still do very well.
Right.
Don't write them off yet. They can still do these big live events. That's what the ABCs and CBSs can still do.
All the specials and all the ones we get this time of year.
Yeah.
Like you almost can't even keep up.
No, they're so good. No, and I love this. And can we just acknowledge that Jennifer Aniston as Blair Warner with the feathers? Because I just referenced Blair a few days ago. I wanted Blair feathering in my hair when I was a kid.
So good.
One of my many problems as a child. Anyway, next in the dish, a local business got quite the shout out last night on Colbert. So here's the deal. The Late Show has been offering to promo small businesses this holiday season. And Monday night, they chose a popcorn maker from New Hope, Minnesota. Look at this.
And with over 40 unique flavors, Zach Redmond describes his popcorn like this.
I'm like a luxury vehicle of popcorn.
Well, luxury vehicle popcorn deserves a luxury vehicle commercial. Jim?
For those who enjoy the finer things, the ones who blaze their own trails, when you demand high performance, all roads lead to New Hope, Minnesota. Redmond's popcorn. Unparalleled design, unrivaled comfort, and able to pop from 0 to 60 in 2.3 seconds. It's the only popcorn to receive J.D. Power and Associates Award for mid-size luxury snack. Now available.
Perfect. How great is that? That's Redmond's popcorn from New Hope, like I said, and it started when Zach Redmond lost his job as a barber during the pandemic. That's a way to turn lemons into lemon pound cake. Good for him. I love those types of stories.
I do too. And did I just see Butterfinger popcorn?
Yeah.
How have I never heard of this?
Why are you still here?
I
Why
have
are you
no
not in
idea.
your car driving to New Hope for us?
I would like to.
I mean, if you love me, again, hashtag sympathy card. Jason's not feeling well.
I know, and the puppies are not feeling well.
No, I mean, and you know what can make Butterfinger popcorn from Redmond's?
Eric, grab the car. We're leaving.
Again, executive producer Jeff's not here. We can do anything we want. Right, Ted? Anyway, that's right. Lots more to come, everyone. Go get some more popcorn, some Sanka. We'll be back right after these words. Back in a moment, friends.
The hot dish isn't done yet. Next, another star in space and another magic mic? Mayim, I'll take things we don't need for 200. Then, are you hosting a holiday party but you aren't exactly a Martha Stewart? We have a beginner's guide for hosting just ahead. And I'm unveiling my latest best thing ever, and today, it's what happens when people stop being polite and start getting real. That and more when we return.
This is our first show back after Thanksgiving. I hope you had I had a mildly frightening Thanksgiving. You may have seen this on Instagram. I was lighting my pizza oven, and I wish I could say this is the first time I've done this, but... So I turn on the gas, and I flip the switch, and usually it lights up itself. And I don't know, 40 minutes goes by, and the oven is not lit. So I look in there, and I'm like, Again, I grabbed a piece of paper, I lit it on fire, and you'd think I would learn, but yet I haven't. I tossed it in the oven, and boom, it came right back at me. It's a good thing I was wearing a hat, or I would be bald tonight. I'm roasting my hair and lightly searing my face. The smell was very bad. I think the reason, I was thinking about it, burning hair smelled so bad is it's God's way of telling you, you are on fire right now. But even though the hair on my arm and my head was burned, and even though I was blasted by a fireball, I had a meal to prepare, so I kept going. I didn't even put ice on my face. I looked in the mirror, I went, huh? I took a picture, and I went right back to cooking. I finished every dish.
As you should, you know? You gotta finish the meal.
I've done this many times.
I'm sorry, you've done this You've done this many times?
Jordan doesn't like it when I go near the stove anymore because I've done it so many times. Bad cook.
What? Wait a minute. You've burned your eyebrows and hair?
No, just arm hair, and then I try to light it, and every time I forget, oh, it's not lit. Well, that's dumb. Why did I do that? And so I try again, and it goes, and every time I say an expletive usually, and then Jordan runs in, and so now that's why I bake, because it's the oven, and it's a mixer, and I'm not allowed near the stove or sharp knives.
Alex, I'll take Lucy Ricardo for 400, please. Seriously.
Sorry.
Yeah, you probably shouldn't, don't get near flames.
No, not for me.
Make up your own joke with that one. Next in the dish, Kathy Griffin is resurfacing after being canceled a few years ago. She was on Jimmy last night and talked about her recent battle with lung cancer. Listen to this.
Okay, so I have to explain my voice, you guys. Listen to my voice. So I had surgery. You're not going to believe this. So I've never smoked, but I got lung cancer. And in August, I had half of my left lung removed. I'm not even kidding. And so now they put the intubation tube to rub on my vocal cord. So now I'm like Minnie Mouse meets Marilyn Monroe. I'm not sure.
I have to say.
And here's the thing. When you're a comic, it's horrible when the doctors want to do their material on you. So no joke. So I go in, and he's describing how they take half your lung out, and he goes, it's kind of like a balloon. So we do it laparoscopically, and we poke it, and then he goes, and when we take it out, it kind of looks like a used condom. The doctor. And then he goes, You can use that.
You can use that joke. And just stick to the surgery. Kathy says she's now cancer-free and only wears Gucci tracksuits these days. Hey, you know, if I just went through a huge surgery like that, I'd wear nothing but tracksuits.
Her voice sounds painful.
I know.
Like it sounds like it hurts to talk.
And you know, she's one of those polarizing figures. It's not lost on me. I know probably some people don't like her. But again, you know what? I don't want to see, and even my worst enemies, I wouldn't want to see go through that. And I don't have a lot of worst enemies. I don't think, you know, but I wouldn't want to see any human being go through that.
No,
so
no.
you got to come from a place of compassion sometimes. So next in the dish, last week we learned Michael Strahan is going to go into space. Don't you dare hit the applause button on that. He was on Fallon last night and talked about how it all came together. Look at this.
Yeah, I went to the first launch. And I watched Jeff and his brother Mark and the other crew members go up. And I remember being there thinking, no way I would ever do it. It was the most amazing thing I've ever seen outside of childbirth. And it made you emotional to see it. And it completely changed my mind about why, if I would do it, the reasoning behind it, why other people would want to do it. And then I pretty much, a few months later or so, got a call saying, do you want to go up? Really? And I had expressed to some people that, hey, I would actually do that after seeing it. And apparently they heard it and they called me and I stuck my foot too deep in my mouth to pull it out. So,
so Michael's going to go up on December 9th. I'm sure live on ABC. I'm sure Good Mornings of the Americas. Because can you imagine if we did that? You know, Fox would be all over that. Or maybe they wouldn't.
Nope.
We can't even go to Coon Rapids, let alone, you know what I mean? We can't go to Anoka.
I know. We don't even have a car. We don't have a ship.
Yeah.
Go in outer space.
I know, but if I was GMA, the show Michael's on, and he's on the NFL on Fox, yeah, you bet. I better have a camera everywhere up in there.
It'd be huge. I mean, it'd be great ratings.
I know. I'm a little tainted by this because, you know, I have nothing against him. He's just, Michael Strahan is just not my favorite person in morning TV. He's a nice guy, but you know, everyone has favorites. He's just not. So I'm sure if it was a celebrity, I'll be honest, if it was a celebrity I loved, I would be a little more excited. This one elicits a little bit of an eye roll for me.
If it was Oprah, you'd just be nervous. You'd be like, oh my gosh, is she going to come back? Okay.
I would be that's a great compare. Oh, if Oprah went up, I'd be very nervous.
You like just waiting.
I would have, I would be, on pins, and I wouldn't want anything to happen to her.
He'd pray to all the religions and
all the religions, everyone. I'd be, please bring Oprah back down to earth safely.
All of you.
All of you, please, please. But yeah, I don't know. And again, I would not do this. I don't care if it becomes even cheaper. I don't care if they start doing Groupons. I'm not gonna, I would not go up. There's no way. I have no desire. Again, I don't like heights. So space, that's kind of high.
Yeah, honey. Did you get that Groupon 50% off the next space launch?
Yeah.
You into it?
Wouldn't that be funny if there was a Groupon for that?
Oh my God, it'd be ridiculous.
Next in the dish, Christmas came a little early this year. Did it? Channing Tatum is back as Magic Mike.
Yes!
I love that floor director Tyler pressed the applause button on that one.
Sure did.
So Channing tweeted out the news about a third Magic Mike movie. The first two have made more than $300 million and created a spin-off show in Vegas. So it's going to debut exclusively on HBO Max, but we don't know when. We don't know when yet. Are you honestly, now are you just doing this for the cameras, are you honestly excited about a third one?
I just would do anything to watch another new piece of Channing Tatum half-naked dancing.
Again, just like the Michael Strahan story, and I told this on the radio show, I'm a little jaded by Magic Mike in general because I went on a disastrous first date to the first Magic Mike.
Oh, so this is a personal problem?
This is pre-Colin, yeah.
Okay.
So that movie has a bad taste in my mouth because I thought we were on a date, and I don't think this person thought we were on a date.
Oh.
And I'm not going to mention who he is. He was on another station, but we went out.
This just got so juicy.
I'm sick. It's the NyQuil talking. Ask me anything. I'll spill all the tea today. But I did, and I thought we were on a date. So can I tell you something? This is Very, very embarrassing for me, but oh well.
No one's watching. It's fine.
We got a bucket of popcorn, and I went to put my hand like on the thing to put my hand with his, and he removed his hand and put it in the popcorn bucket. I was like, oh, okay, well, how long is this movie? Yeah, I was like, oh, we are in the friend zone. We are.
Oh my gosh.
It was humbling, and it was I went home. I did cry a little bit. I was like, oh, it was embarrassing.
I would too. I'd call my mom.
I didn't call my mom, but I drank a lot of white wine that night.
Didn't admit it until now.
Yeah, and now we're friends, and it's all good. But yeah, woo, not my shiniest moment. Next in the dish, a new Miss USA was crowned last night. The whole pageant aired on the FYI network. And while the format was a little bit different, it came down to a Q&A, and it was all about Miss Kentucky.
Sustainability is becoming more and more important in professional landscapes. How can we encourage business to be more environmentally conscious?
I think we've got to look at it from a macro level and also a micro level. So at the macro level, companies need to switch to green energy. I think that's something that we can all agree on. But then at the micro level, we all know how to reduce, reuse, recycle, and those are things that we can implement in our daily lives.
Okay, that's Elle Smith. She is a journalist, and now she's Miss USA. Miss North Dakota was the first runner-up. And in anticipation for Miss America, Kendall watched, and what did you think? Because for those who don't know, full disclosure, we can't act like, you know, you're not related to the current reigning Miss Minnesota. That's your sister.
Cha.
Yeah. So how was Miss USA?
Well, I watched it with Miss Minnesota.
Okay.
Because, duh.
I love how you refer to her as Miss Minnesota.
Yeah, in this situation,
Yeah.
yes.
Okay.
So we watched it. It was so obvious from the get-go that she should win. I mean, there were other, like Miss North Dakota was fantastic, but it was like she just had that something, and then she answered that question. Everyone went, macro and micro? Okay. You know? So that was great. The opening number was a little burlesque for me for a pageant.
I'm sorry?
It was a leotard, and there were chairs and red lighting and like squatting positions. It was a little much for me because I'm someone who grew up watching pageants, and like, if I was my mama, she would have been like, okay, eye muffs. So, and the host was a makeup artist. Well, there were two hosts. One of them was a makeup artist, and he was lovely, but I think it's hard to host a live event when you're not a live event host.
You're not privy to the mechanics of live television.
Like reading, that was epic.
Yeah. Oh, no.
Juice.
I'm going back to the use of the term squatting positions. I just never thought, Eric, am I right? I just never thought that would be said on our broadcast.
It's just like a
Yeah. And you're not a prude, and nor am I.
No, it just was like, oh, I didn't know this what I was signing up for tonight. Okay.
It's a modern Miss USA, I guess.
Something
Did it look like the jailhouse tango in Chicago?
Exactly.
Yeah. Cell block tango.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's the one.
That's what it looked like?
A little bit.
I'm down for that.
But hey, it was entertaining.
Okay. What did Miss Minnesota think?
I think
Are you allowed to
she
speak for her? I don't want to get her in trouble.
I think she also agreed that the people who were in the top were people that she had watched the preliminaries on and also thought should be in the top. So,
okay.
good.
There we go. If you want to watch it again, I'm sure it's on FYI Network's on-demand service. We'll be right back. Back in a moment. And welcome back, everyone. Well, you may be thinking about holding a small get-together this season, and our next guest is all about hosting and helping you create memorable moments with your family and friends. Please welcome to the show the creator of the website, warmhousestory.com. I love that, Jason Burke. Hi, Jason.
Hi, Griffin.
It's fun to say that.
It's great.
Hello,
Yeah,
Jason.
Definitely not.
I won't. Are you with me? We're a dying breed. There aren't a lot of young Jasons.
There are not. Yes, and I wish there were because
it's a nice name.
Yeah, it's a new life, a new spirit.
Yes. Hello, parents. Jason's a good name.
It's great.
Anyway, we were the number one name the 1974, and that was it. Then we dropped off the charts like Milli Vanilli.
Well, I had like 5 Jasons in my kindergarten class.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah.
Anyway, okay, that's not why you're here. Okay, so you're all about making it easy for folks that aren't you to create a warm party environment, right?
That's right.
Okay.
I help people create atmosphere, and so I call myself an atmospherist. So it's a mix of all the senses.
Generally speaking, what is the biggest mistake people make? Do they try to do too much, Jason?
I think so. The things I'll talk about today are about making it easy.
Yeah.
Entertaining is one of the most intimidating things for people, and they make it harder
on themselves.
On themselves,
okay.
Absolutely.
Let's look at some examples. Where are we starting here?
Sure, we're going to start over here.
Okay.
So I've got a couple place settings here today, and sometimes people struggle on like, how am I going to make the right colors? Will it look good? And so I always turn to nature as the inspiration. So here I have some amber maple and some celosia and some greenery, and these actually have lots of really interesting colors in them.
Yeah.
And if you just turn to nature as your guide, you kind of can't go wrong.
Is it the same principle, Jason, when you're like decorating a room, and I always see these shows, people love a pillow, and then they design all of the colors based on that one pillow. Is that kind of the same concept here?
I think so, like a pillow or a rug, where you use like all of the colors, because, really it's a nice starting point for the ratio of colors you use and how you use them.
And I was going to say, a lot of this stuff, like, so you went off just that one flower, and then you went from there.
Correct. So I love to mix craft from modern craft and old things as well. And so here, to pull out the greens, I used an antique plate that I thrifted, along with this wonderful handmade ceramic base. I made a little napkin bouquet for someone's place setting with the flowers, and then brought in other elements. The paper here has a tiny bit of yellow in it as well, which this preserved dahlia
has the yellow in it.
Has the yellow as well. And so then I just got to go raid my cupboards and
I was going to say, because conventionally I wouldn't think of this as something to put on a table, but it works.
Absolutely. Ribbons are amazing because you can just kind of put them in between, and they don't add height, which will interrupt a conversation across the table.
Because thank you for saying that, because I know people want big even at a wedding, when you have those big centerpieces that are the size of a peacock, you can't see the person on the, am I right?
Yeah, no, big birds and such, yes.
You can't have that. Now, you're going kind of with the same thing on this one, too. I noticed the ribbon on that, too.
This is another example using the same principles. So here I used some beautiful blue flowers, some purple herbs, some white statice, and a little bit of this brown pod.
Okay.
And this is the third night of Hanukkah tonight, so I wanted to show something in a range of blues. Hanukkah doesn't have to be blue and white. It can be a mix. So I still used nature, same philosophy, still using new and old together here, and then pulling out some of the colors in this paper, for example, and in the flowers with the little addition of purple.
And can we just acknowledge the silverware? That's really cool.
Yeah, it's navy, and so it's a fantastic, splurge, I guess.
Yeah.
But for those who celebrate Hanukkah, it might be a good investment.
Absolutely. Okay, next.
Yeah. So another thing at Wormhouse Story that I do in workshops is teach about edible floral charcuterie.
Okay.
So it's not just up in your charcuterie game, which is part of it, but it's how.
Is it still hot? Are charcuterie boards still hot right now, Jason?
They continue to rise and rise in many different ways. People are doing a lot of creative things on those nice big boards.
Because a lot of local makers, it's their number one seller are a variety of charcuterie boards.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Yeah. And so I wanted to share a few tips.
Yeah.
One, if you're having a gathering and people don't know each other, you may not want a big board where everyone has to dig in together. You can do individual charcuterie plates, and that way people don't have to worry about dipping in each other's hands. So this is a little mini, tiny edible flower
Especially if you had dirty
charcuterie.
friends, right, Jason? Jason.
That's right. You don't want keep
Not you,
that.
Kendall. No,
yeah.
I'm not calling you out.
Yes,
but, yeah.
you might have like one plate for that one friend, like off to the side, right?
Exactly.
Yes. And then here I'm just showing more of a presentation on a more traditional board, albeit small. And so a few things going on. You can cut your cheese here to alternate and create a pattern.
Okay.
You can fold your salami to look more like petals. You can add the edible flowers on the top. And then off to the side here, I have a chocolate hummus with lavender, also adding an edible floral element. And lavender is a wonderful pairing with chocolate.
That's chocolate hummus?
Chocolate hummus. It's in almost all the grocery stores now.
Oh, I got
Yeah.
Okay.
And then I have a little bit of a mostarda. It's cherry and mustard mix. And the thing with edible flowers is some are bitter and some have kind of no flavor. Some are in the middle.
Okay.
So I created a little bite here today, which has a gardenia leaf and then some meat and cheese and a little bit of that mostarda.
Is that for me?
That is for you to try. Yes.
I love the segment that ends with a little bite here. That is real good.
Yeah, it's nice to have a little bit of that bitter. It's like a cocktail with bitters, but you want to add something sweet to balance that out along with the flour.
And now it's going to be fun trying to talk. Say thanks to Jason. For more information, head to warmhousestory.com and find him on Instagram too. Search, you guessed it, Warm House Story. We're going to take a break. We'll be back right after this, everyone. That is really good. And the flavors keep coming.
How does it feel to be back on the real world?
Let me tell you something. This is the true story. True story.
I watched the New York season. Season 2 took it to another whole extreme.
It was not funny.
Are you serious? I don't think we'll be doing a lot of arguing. Will we?
David falling off the rails.
Y'all look like y'all was having a meeting.
I'll apologize. I know it doesn't mean anything.
I'm not even gonna with you. You about to piss me off.
I'm still scared for that young man right now.
I'm looking at you in your face and I'm telling you what I was dealing with.
That is just the beginning. Welcome back. That's a clip from the Real World Homecoming Las Vegas. It's now on Paramount Plus. David, Tammy, John, Beth, the Beths, and the rest of the Real World Los Angeles cast are back together. The reunion show, like I said, is on Paramount Plus, and it is my latest best thing ever. Several things to note. MTV has done this once before. You saw a little bit of it. They did this with New York, these homecoming seasons. New York, obviously, was the very first season of The Real World in 91, 92. This season, I love that line that this cast was the first cast to know what reality TV meant. And I think it changed the dynamic a little bit, but still so powerful. There was so much happening in 1992. And this show really reflected it in a way, as did New York, that we had never seen on television before. And over the weekend, I watched a lot of things, and this show was one of them. And in one room, in one of the scenes of the first episode, they rewatched. The cast is all together. You know, they're 30, 29 years older. Most of them are back. Like Dominic is one of the cast members that didn't come back. Surfer guy Aaron isn't back, but the rest of them are there. And they're talking, kind of catching up, and then an alert comes on the TV. And on the television, they rewatched one of the most infamous scenes in reality TV history when David tried ripping the blanket off Tammy, who had told the cast that she wasn't wearing any clothes. And here's what went down.
And me watching it again, everybody's having such a good time. Everybody's laughing, pounding on the floor. Even you're laughing in the interview. You're laughing. You're pulling the blanket. You give the wrestling count, and 1, 2, 3, and that's how I'm coming from a playful perspective. I was in there first before I got in there.
Because if I say that I don't got no clothes on, then nobody should have tried to pull the covers off. People don't understand that laughter is sometimes to cover uncomfortableness and awkwardness, and they don't know what to do. And that's kind of what was happening in that moment for me. Without you guys knowing
that she was going through a lot. It was really difficult. I remember in '93 watching it and finding that scene difficult. That's why we showed you just a snippet. Ted made the great decision. There's no reason to re-show it. Watching it in 2021, even more uncomfortable. And what is so maddening is David, who's now in his 40s, obviously still doesn't get it and is on the defensive. Because giving a little more perspective, David, following the show, got the bulk of the blame. He actually left the house and was labeled everything from a misogynist to a rapist. I mean, it decimated his career. So you would think he would come back to the house with time as a partner, realizing what Tammy had gone through. But as you can see, there is still this reluctance to recognize the damage that had been done to Tammy, you know? Even if they were quote unquote joking, oof, it's hard to watch. I did not like the New York homecoming season. I am loving this. I love this and I can't wait. They do that annoying thing where they only drop one episode at a time.
Ugh.
I hate that. But anyway, I'm here for it. I'm down. I cannot wait to watch the rest of this journey.
So they addressed
hate that
this
word, but yeah.
in the first episode?
First episode, Kendall. Woo. And they had to because it was a huge scandal in '92. Huge. And still resonates to this day.
Do you think that it's missing some of it though without a couple of the cast members who are there?
No.
Do you watch it and like miss them at all?
Not really. I mean, Aaron was, the surfer guy. Dominic was interesting, but no. The cast members you want to be there are there.
Okay.
Yeah. The Real World, Homecoming, Los Angeles, available right now on Paramount Plus. We're going to take a break. We'll be back right after this. Back in a moment. Hello, friends. I missed you. I'm glad I'm back. The Twin Cities, you guys know this is full of great small businesses. And last year, Kendall introduced us to Muckwa Studio in Northeast Minneapolis. It's a really cool space that focuses on art and fashion inspired by the creator's Ojibwe heritage. This is so great. Recently, she went back there to see how they're doing. Look.
Ready, set, go. Okay, so here's the deal. I've learned how to sew on a button. I've learned how to use a sewing machine. Learned is like a really loose term, by the way. And I've attempted quilting. I wanted to try to knit, but you are gonna help me knit.
You'll be able to pick up the basics today and be able to knit an entire cowl. Yep.
That's what she thinks. Okay, let's go. It's gonna take a while. This is like, okay. I'm like, okay, so Maggie, let's go over this just really quick, like what we're gonna do. And it was like learning a foreign language, just hearing what we were gonna do. So this is gonna go really well for me, right?
You're gonna do great. So first,
this is a piano, right?
Yeah, it's basically like a piano keyboard with, it looks like a bug, antennas. So we're gonna change out our yarn. Just a little placement hook, so you're gonna take it off. Don't let go, or this will hit you in the face.
This thing?
Yep, that thing. It should, if you pull, it'll click.
Don't get smacked in the face.
Pop it in, and then you're gonna place the end right there.
Oh my God, okay. That's it, right? That's all I have to do?
Step one.
Oh, step one, okay.
And then, yep, patterns lined up. You can sit.
I feel like this
playing
deserves
piano.
grand music. Ta-da! Does everybody have to use the ball chair, or is this just a you thing?
I think it helps with your
abs.
hips. So it's like this and tuck. So kind of pull that end down. Perfect. Okay, you hold
Don't
that.
Don't ask me to do that again.
Don't let go. And you're gonna hook that loop on this last needle.
Oh my God. How? I have to do this whole thing?
Yeah.
Obviously, I am no professional, but how long does it take you to do one of these?
15 to 20 minutes.
The whole cowl? I thought I was getting better, but now she's doing it, and I'm like, oh, that's how it's supposed to work.
It's kind of funky. Okay, next step. You're gonna move this dial to KC.
Okay.
And then now go back one more row.
Ding, ding, ding. What's it doing?
Now it's activating the pattern. Perfect.
What?
Perfect.
What did that do?
So that's your first complete row of knitting a pattern.
I did something today, everybody.
And then
This is a millimeter of a cowl.
it's perfect. Looks great.
Okay, well, I take a time out. So people that are watching that maybe didn't watch last time I was here with you, you talked a lot about like what your company in general means to you, not just the knitting and the scarves and the hats, but also just your art.
A lot of my fine art work is based off of culture and family heritage. I'm Fond du Lac Ojibwe, so a lot of it relates to stories about my family or experiences, relationships, that kind of stuff. And then the knitwear is just kind of like the fun design part, and where I get to like learn about different patterns and just how I see and process the world around me, I guess.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, and last year when you did the partnership with Askoff Finlayson, your stuff sold out right away.
That project was a lot of fun, and I was surprised at how fast they went too, but I think people get excited to see something familiar, especially in the Native community, because you don't see like Ojibwe words out often in public, and so I think it definitely feeds into what I do at Muckwood.
And with that, I get the look of if you're going to sit here, get back to work. Abs of steel! Abs of steel! Halloween candy! Pumpkin pie!
I love it. I'm glad you went back.
Yeah, I am too. I went back because I wanted to just check in and see how things were going since it's holiday season time.
Yeah.
But she's actually doing a fundraiser right now for a stole machine. So it's like 10 times bigger than what she's using right now because she's getting busier, which is great.
Yeah.
But this is the actual machine. It's massive. So this is her fundraiser on her website. You can just donate in general, but you can also buy certain knitwear that she's created, and the proceeds will go towards her funding this machine so she can just expand her business and do more, you know?
We do goofy things, but I also love using the show to shine a light. For more on Muckwa and the work they do, check out muckwastudio.com. I just like, it's a beautiful word.
I know.
Could say it all day. We're going to take a break. The surprise goodbye is coming up in just a little bit. What is it? You'll find out when we find out in a moment. Beautiful. Welcome back, everyone. You ready, Kendall? I missed this. It's time for the world's shortest segment. Here we go. Beautiful. Wendy Williams continues her leave of absence from her TV show. But today, the fiery Leah Remini is back as guest host. And Michelle Visage is back, I believe, as well. I saw them on Instagram this morning. Non-makeup. Look, here's the deal. I want these two to have a show, whatever, whether it's Wendy or not. Yeah. Love them. We're going to take a break. We'll be back with the surprise ending right after this. Welcome back. We're wrapping up today. Again, thanks to Tom Butler and Kendall and Ted and everyone for helping me out yesterday, filling in. I really appreciate it. Kendall's back, and it's time for the surprise goodbye. Here we go. Well, we never know what's in this segment until right now. Kendall and I are in the dark about what's in here. Yesterday, we showed you a clip from the new season of Saved by the Bell. Oh, we did. Nice. It was a tribute to Screech. The show was also poking fun at something from its past. When Elizabeth Berkley, a.k.a. Jessie, left the sitcom, she went on to star in the NC-17 movie. Remember when they made those? Showgirls. It was a highly controversial decision at the time. Now, back at Bayside High in the reboot, the show paid tribute to that controversy at a career fair. Jessie spots a firefighter and a fire pole, and jokes, well, they kind of write themselves. Saved by the Bell is available on Peacock.
I have no idea what that show was.
The
Showgirls?
Showgirls? It was so bad. It wasn't meant to be bad.
Oh.
But it was one of those movies that was so bad, it was good. Like, it's horrible.
Like cult classic
It was
now?
supposed to be serious,
Oh.
but it ended up to be so horrid. Like, it's one of the worst bad movies ever. But you watch it, it's almost like it's taken on a life of its own in pop culture.
Right.
It's almost like the Rocky Horror Picture Show. Now, don't write me. I love the Rocky Horror Picture Show. But what I mean by it, it's a cult sensation.
Right. Like
Yeah.
how I feel about Hocus Pocus, but that was never supposed to be serious.
Well, Hocus Pocus doesn't have strippers, but sure.
Yeah, there's that. And we have SJP.
Tomorrow, producer Ted recaps hometown dates on The Bachelorette, and Kimberly Williams Paisley, remember her from Father of the Bride? And Ashley Williams will join us to talk about their new Hallmark Christmas movie. That's going to be fun. That's tomorrow. And again, happy birthday to my mom. I love you. And you watching, if you're a kid that's being bullied, go out there and be yourself, because nobody can tell you you're doing it wrong. Come on, Kendall. I'm not going to touch you.